Welcome back to Grown Folks Talking. I'm your host, C. Kate Sees It, with my special co-host,
Lola Chanel.
And today we're going to be continuing our conversation with the residents, episode 3 and 4. Like and subscribe so you can stay notified when we drop new stuff. First, I want to say a couple of corrections from the last podcast. The titles from the titles of the episodes are murder mystery classics or modern day soon to be classics. Like Knives Out was based on the Rian Johnson movie. Edgar Allan Poe was a short story. The Fall House of Usher is an Edgar Allan Poe short story. And yeah, those what I want to say. I call them all based on books, and that is not necessarily true. And then Giancarlo Esposito was in The Mandalorian. He played Moff Gideon.
Aha.
All right. Now to episode 3. Do you have a synopsis?
Yes, I do. Season 1, episode 3, Knives Out. Simmering conflicts in the White House kitchen offer Cordelia a delicious opportunity to uncover clues. As the thunder rolls in the background, because we in the thunderstorm. Lord.
Absolutely. I will say I really enjoyed this episode a lot. Mainly because, like I said, I remember Bronson Pinchot back in Perfect Strangers. To see he had a whole episode dedicated to him soothes my nostalgic ego, as well as knowing he had a lot of motive to kill AB. Which was
is it Didier?
I think
Didier. He when you look at this, I said, oh, he started building the gingerbread house in July. First of all, clearly this is not a work to be eaten. Because why sit out and be looking? I said it ain't no ants up in there. They ain't got no roaches or nothing. Because what you mean? It's some graham crackers and icing just sitting out lying in wait
for months in the summer, in the winter.
We'll assume that he started drawing and getting his supplies in July. It wasn't built in July. But still, it was sitting out for what, 3, 4? It was sitting out for a week at least in the house. I said, oh, he worked so hard that they can't even see it.
And so one of the points that I pulled from this is breaking tradition. So he took pride in creating this gingerbread house. It was tradition.
It was tradition.
Everyone knew the tradition. They all gathered around. There's like, yes, pastry chef doing a
this
gingerbread
is what
house.
we do.
This is what we do. This is how it's
the dessert chef
gonna be. And then you got some outsider.
You got some beach blind.
Not even part of the not even part of the crew. The social person who came in with the administration gets another person consultant and to say the gingerbread house has to go. No reason, just it's got to go. We're gonna bring in a wellness type.
Who wants wellness for the holidays? You get wellness at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And in the spring, so you can have a summer body. You don't get wellness in November and December. What?
It's about indulgence. That's
what I was like, yeah, I get what you're saying. The the millennials and the Gen Z millennials, we're all about, healing and not doing things that we no longer, can have the capacity or the want or the desire to play into the normatives of life that we used to. But it would, as somebody who also likes tradition, I don't want no smoothie for Christmas. What's wrong with you? I said, I can see why Didier was pissed, and I can see why AB was upset too. Because why are you? She coming in here with this man talking about the feng shui. I said that room is ugly. Nobody comes to the White House for wellness. If we wanted that, we would rally for that.
Absolutely.
Get that man's White House gingerbread house and bring it up in here with all the Christmas decorations.
So my question is, can new, because so their thought process was it's something new. We're like you said, millennial Gen Xers. Can new and tradition coexist in the
Yes.
same space?
Yes, but she didn't want it to coexist. That's where you have to realize she was not willing to merge the two.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted the traditions to go way down to the bottom. I just realized the clock behind you actually works, and it just freaked me out because I was like, it wasn't on Janet's face. It works. That just that just had kind of scared me. Anyway, she didn't want them to merge. She wanted it her way or the highway,
Yeah.
and that's where I would be like, "Girl, this
So
ain't
I
it."
so I feel the pastry chef when Susan Kalichi was saying it's us versus them, and
Mm-hmm.
AB is us, and he didn't stand up for the pastry chef. He didn't
But
put his foot down and say,
yeah,
what we not gonna do is get rid of the gingerbread. You can do whatever, but
but
this has
what
been
this is tradition.
yes.
And but I that's the thing. That's why when I was looking at it, I was like, but why AB had to do all of that? Why you couldn't do all of that? Did he? A? But
Because
AB is the
yeah,
hierarchy. You are
yes, hierarchy.
correct. You are
Yeah.
correct to move though.
So I understand his reasoning. I don't think he's the killer, but I understand why. And just in general, and the overall theme of like we stated, tradition is great. I like tradition because it's something you look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like familiar. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is the time our family gets together. This is the thing we always do. But then the other side of me is like, let's put a unique
Let's
spin on
it,
tradition. Let's
it,
because tradition can become monotonous and it's the same old
yes,
and it can become boring.
it
So
it can
other
become
side of me is like,
boring.
how can we spice this up?
How can we
Um,
give a new life?
give it new life. Yeah, create a new tradition, but it has to be you. There has to be a way to blend with the old and the new. Episode 4
Episode
was
4.
was a
All
we yeah. Go ahead.
the last of Sheila. Irrepressible Butler Sheila. Irrepressible Butler Sheila has risen from Waffle House to the White House, but her misbehavior at the state dinner arouses Cordelia's suspicions. Dun
So
dun
this
dun.
episode had I was like it was
This is
all
funny.
Sheila. Where you talked about last week how folks are unhinged. She was.
She
I was
is
with her. And
she is
then she kept on, I would serve her the vodka, don't serve her the vodka, and then we find out she drank the vodka. Okay, not one. Okay, not two, not three. You're like,
she
girl, is it okay if I
is a
smoke?
time.
Absolutely.
In the
So
bathroom, she said, they don't ever let me go in this bathroom. And she picked their Bob. Because at this point they're all having to still sit in one vicinity. I think they on like the second floor or the first floor, wherever they are. Everybody has to stay there because
yes.
Cordelia is like, nobody on the second floor, nobody on the third floor, nobody above here. Just to keep them down there. So she in the bathroom. She told that lady, "Ooh, they don't ever let me come in this bathroom. You want to smoke?"
Exactly. Exactly.
She is unhinged.
I would have given up kind of like Randall Park's character on believing anything she has to say, but
Hello?
That's not Cordelia. She also did the thing where she didn't say anything and Sheila kept spilling the beans, kept lying, and then Cobb was able to suss out the truth. One thing that I did appreciate was we got a little backstory on
Mm-hmm.
Cordelia and why she is who she is. She is the I'm going to find the killer. I'm going to solve this mystery. And I'm not going to stop until it's solved. And we saw how that started with some socks, which I salute the writers because Who among us doesn't have a sock that
Hello.
they cannot find?
Hello.
You found one, but you
But you
cannot find the
cannot
other.
find the other.
So
And how is that happening?
how did that
That the
happen?
dryer is eating them.
Listen, full disclosure, I have worn mixed match socks
Who
because
amongst us have not?
okay. I'm not alone. I'm not alone.
At one point, they were selling mismatched socks.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
As a
oh,
child who used to love quirky things, I still love quirky things, but a mismatched sock pack is what got me. Like they were mismatched, but they still matched. If that
they still
makes
work
any
together.
sense.
Mm-hmm. So we see how she sussed through the web of lies and little truths
Mm-hmm.
that Sheila told, and found out that AB wasn't killed in the game room. He was dragged to the game room. And when that woman got on that carpet and looked and said, "Oh, he was dragged," I was like, "Ma'am,
How you see that?
all that foot traffic, and
How you
you
see
don't
that?
see." I was like, "Okay, we're being ridiculous." So that was cool, and going into the room with the paint, and how the other two witnesses who were going against Sheila was loved the former first lady, and
She
she hated,
hates.
yeah, AB. I thought that was great, seeing them just dispel all her lies. But it's I was just like, who, how, what's gonna happen? So again, don't
Who do
know
you?
who.
Do you have a prediction?
I know. I don't have
After
a prediction.
episode 4,
Uh
I
huh.
thought I after episode 4, it was um I thought it was the lady, AB's
The
predecessor. No, AB's successor.
the one who, not Susan Colucci. I mean Calucci. Not,
Yes.
you thought it was her or the other black
Yes.
lady? Oh, okay. You think it's
No, I thought
Susan?
it was Susan.
Oh no. I don't think it's her. I think it's someone who's been in the background who we haven't paid attention to quite yet. I was like,
It's either it's either Susan or it's Harry. Harry Hollinger. But Harry Hollinger would be too easy and too spot on the nose. Is
who's
why I
Harry?
talk
Who?
myself. Harry is the best friend who was like, we don't need nobody. He killed himself. Let's go.
Oh yeah. Two on the nose. Yeah, two on the nose
Two on the
for sure.
nose.
I'm sort of looking at the guy who keeps interrupting Cordelia when she's making a discovery, the FBI guy. I'm like,
I don't think it's an FBI guy. He's stupid.
he is, but
He's
is
not
he
that smart.
playing stupid?
Oh, is he playing? Listen, who done it? Who had done it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Uh,
don't.
yeah. So
Suspicion,
suspicion still all around.
suspicions.
They were dropping little seeds about different historical figures, like the chauffeur from the different administrations, people who have worked
Mm.
in the White House, and I wonder. I bet those are real people. That's just kind of
Uh,
a little bit history, um, weaved in this murder mystery caper. So again, enjoying this. I don't know who's this episode ended with someone across the street with the glasses, like someone she was
Somebody's
in
over
the
there.
somebody like someone saw something way over there in this big huge building. So hopefully they'll shed light on who and help her find who the killer is.
Dun,
It's a
dun,
fun ride. It's a fun
dun.
ride.
It's such a good show, and
Mm-hmm.
I hope we get more. I was hoping that they wouldn't do like I would want her to do something everywhere. Like I would want her to do
Oh,
something
like solid case.
here, something
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Like
and
the
high
residents, and the
stake
next one she's
places.
on a boat, the
Yeah,
cruise. Like yeah,
yeah.
that'd be interesting. That'd be very
It could
interesting.
be several residences.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go
That's
to the
true.
governor's mansion. I don't know.
In different countries. Yeah. So for for the both episodes, 9 out of 10. Nine
9
out
out
of
of
ten.
10. And you know
Yeah.
what IMDb has done?
They probably 7 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sevens.
Seven.
Sevens because they're haters.
Indeed. Indeed.
Uzo Aduba is a great actress, and I love seeing her on my screen.
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing her on my screen. That's all I can say about her. And because she built Netflix on her back,
Sure did.
right along with all the other ladies
Yep.
of
Yep.
Orange is the New Black,
Mm-hmm.
they need to give all them women every single show that they have to offer whenever
That's
they
true.
have it.
That's very true.
Danielle Brooks, Uzo
Yep.
Aduba,
Lauren Laverne Cox.
yes, Laverne Cox, and
Mm-hmm.
what's that lady name? I know her name. I don't know her name, but
Okay.
all them women,
All
give
women.
them their things.
For sure. And on that note, tell us what you think about The Residents. Like and subscribe. And we will talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.